Hey, what's up, folks? So, a little while back, I promised you guys I'd pull this head off, do another inspection. I think we're at around maybe somewhere between 100 and 300 miles, and got at least another 400 miles on here. I was gonna wait till about 1,000 miles, but I got the time now, so I wanted to do it. All right, let's get started. We changed the SHA carburetor clone, and just been running a speed NT. Just got a screen back there to help with the fuel atomization, and seems to be working pretty good. Just a quick note here, guys. I put in these photos so you can see how the screen causes the metal to slowly erode and actually causes kind of a vortex as it atomizes with the fuel. A little bit of an exhaust leak when I put the stinger on. Do have a split up here on the seam somewhere. I've had to re-weld it a couple of times, but all in all, she's held up pretty good. Other than that, did lose a magneto in the rain, but let's open it up and find out what's going on. All right, so back at it. I got the billet head off here. Looking pretty darn clean, actually. I've done just a little bit of port work before. You can see in the corner here, and on the other side, it opened that up and gave it a little bit of room. You can see also the transfer port just barely opening. So from the time your exhaust port is opening to when it reaches your transfers is primary, and not a lot of carbon residue in there. Looking pretty good. A little bit of wear from the rings, and that's pretty much typical. I had thought of maybe changing the rings out, but we'll have to see what they look like too. Alright, because of the way I have this set up with a thumb throttle, I have to take the top of the carburetor off to slide the cylinder body up and look at the rings. And I'm glad that's the case, because as you may be able to tell from this, there is quite a bit of degree, and I'm not sure if it's road salt erosion or what, but even with this seal over top here, this casing, with vibration or whatever else, or just water running up against this and then desalinizing and crystallizing, it started to really make quite a problem, and it could have led to some other issues later on. Okay, so try to focus this a little bit better here. This is the piston. The rings actually look pretty good. They've found a way to seat themselves, and the chatter that I'm noticing up on the front of the cylinder on the intake side I'm looking down here now, and they've got quite a bit of debris. I don't know if it's debris. Oh, sorry. It's like the piston started having some problems. And also, yeah, there's definitely a lot of wear at the back of the intake. I'm sorry, I was saying the intake up there, that's the exhaust port. But yeah, the intake is also looks like quite a bit of gnarling. Did do some port work back there. Let's see if I can go the other way. Zoom the other way. Come on, Apple. There we go. So didn't do a whole lot back there. Basically kind of just rounded that off a little bit just to raise it the tiniest, and it looks mostly pretty good. All in all given, I really have beat this thing. Typically run it around 30 miles an hour. It's hitting close to 6,500, 6,900 RPMs continuously. I'm trying to clean it up, put it back together. I just wanted to add here that the pitting on the piston is probably from the atomization, although it could be from just a slight amount of ring slop where the pins are. A step further here. Not looking bad though. Just brought this in real quick, a little smoother surface, and got some 400 grit and 600 grit. Probably don't even need this 4. Could go right to the 6 and then maybe to the 8, but I've been running this without a head gasket, and I mirrored the head and never bothered to do the top of the cylinder. So while I have it somewhat apart, might as well just make that a little bit tighter. I didn't notice any leaks or anything really to speak of. You can see kind of a little bit of like a overlay there, and kind of right up in here. Looks like when it's been swelling, there has been a little bit of fuel, sediment, and oil that's gathered in those spots. So I'm going to try to make this as tight as possible, and again, put it back on without the head gasket. Alright, so I showed you guys the pinhole leaks I got here in this expansion pipe. Just clean that off. I'm going to leave it off for now. And just out of curiosity, I got this matched out to the port and running it without the baffle. This has always been my favorite pipe. I don't know. I've tried the bananas and others, and anyway, I think we're gonna put that back on, and so get it all back together and you'll show you what's going on. Alright, get the cylinder back on, reconnected the intake, actually disconnected the carburetor here, and gave it a good healthy cleaning. I'm not promoting Napa, that just seems to be the brand that works for me. And cleaned the throttle linkage, sprayed that all out, and we'll tighten that back up and get the head on. Alright folks, we got it all back together. Try to clean the forks up a little bit. Starting to get some issues with that. This bearing popped out the other day. I thought my forks had froze. It's kind of a little wonky when I go to turn sometimes. Got to keep an eye on that. Still got the extra 415 chain on the other side. And running the 41P roller. Start her up, see how she goes. Alright, so that's my little acid test. Just turn the choke on there so I could stop and keep this rolling. Went right up the hill. Seems like she's running pretty good. So hopefully I can get another 1,000 miles an hour before it tear it all apart and do something else.